So you want to level a priest, eh? There's just something that draws a man to a world you can enter, in which you can wear pretty dresses without being judged, where you're meant to support the big, strong, manly tanks and DPS. I get it. It brings you back to a time where you and your sisters would play with their little Barbie dolls and maybe, on occasion, play princess dress up with them, where you would try on some of their dresses and maybe even a little makeup. Years later, you would find old photos of yourself in those dresses and destroy them, out of fear of your friends finding out about it. But you've always had a fondness for dressing up like that. You don't do it now because you don't want people to stare. You are relieved that you've found a place in which wearing a pretty dress is not only a normal thing for men to do, but it's even necessary. Many people will say that priests are for girls. Only girls should level priests. It's like choosing to be a babysitter or a cheerleader. Well, my friends, I support your decision to roll a priest, and I will even share a few tips with you that you may find useful. The first few levels are so easy, even someone whose main character is a hunter could do it. Just spam Smite, Power Word Pain, and Mind Blast on everything you see. At either level 5 or 13, you will get your first wand from the auction house. And then, it begins. NANI? Punching mobs in the face! Oh yeah, such a manly thing to do for such a girly class! Your wand is going to be your main ability. What you're going to want to do is pull with either Mind Blast or Holy Fire, whichever one is going to do more damage. Or if your recovery is really good, then you can pull with both, first Holy Fire, then Mind Blast. Then put Shadow Word Pain on the target and just start wanding them. When you get Mind Flay ranks that do more damage per second than your wand, then what you're going to want to do is pull with Mind Blast or Holy Fire, whichever one does more damage, then put Shadow Word Pain on the target, use Mind Flay until the mob gets to you, then start wanding them. You don't want a Mind Flay tank like a lot of people do, because it's a waste of mana, unless you've got like a really terrible wand. Now, we already know the overwhelming majority of people roll priest because they subconsciously want to wear pretty pink and white dresses. But there is another kind of person who wants to be a priest. It's the people who really like My Chemical Romance and 30 Seconds to Mars. It's the people who want to be a spooky boy. And they should be a spooky boy for leveling. It's going to do more damage, it's better for PvP, and you can still heal dungeons perfectly fine. Look, there are some arguments to be made for discipline leveling, but even if it was better than shadow leveling, you're all going to level as shadow anyway, because you want people to feel the shadow of your pain. You want a spell with the word vampire in it. And above all else, because you want to be a spooky boy. Success as a priest in World of Warcraft is measured and obtained the exact same way as success is measured and obtained by a human in real life. It's measured by how good you are at getting other people to do things for you.
Oh, yes!
Mind control is the most unique ability that priests have, and an unbelievably useful leveling tool. For example, let's say you're doing this elite quest, and you can't find the tank. Well, what you can do as a priest is just mind control one of those mobs and then have them tank for you. Just make sure your DPS doesn't out DPS the mob, which usually they won't do. Elite mobs in vanilla usually do a lot of damage. So you'll want to mind control one and then have the one that you're mind controlling and the one that your mind controlled mob is attacking. You'll want to have both of them attacking without either dying faster than the other one. Your goal is to have them both almost dead by the time your mind control falls off, because this is going to generate a lot of threat, and you want them to be almost dead so that you can quickly kill them before they reach you. So basically you want to have both mobs either dead or almost dead by the time your mind control falls off, so that it'll just take a couple of hits to kill them. This is an especially useful thing to do in dungeons. Let's say there's a pack of 3 mobs there, so you mind control one. Don't attack either of the 2 mobs with the one that you're mind controlling, because that will generate threat that will shift onto you when the mind control falls off. So just mind control one mob, make him sit there, have all the other mobs around him kill the mob that you're mind controlling, and then once your mob is dead, have your tank pick up the other ones. So it's almost like sheeping a target, but the mobs around your sheeped target start killing the sheep. There's many other things that you can do with mind control. I just can't list all of them here because it's going to put the video over 10 minutes. But we're not quite at 10 minutes yet, so I'll tell you about one. One of them I remember on Nostarius on my priest. I was actually able to mind control one of the BWL orcs. It was one of the healers in the whelp room, and it had a healing ability, and I was able to spam that healing ability, and it kept my entire raid topped off, just fully healed. No other healer had to do anything while I had that thing mind controlled. It was like this AoE ability that just healed everything, and it just allowed us to kill the whelp room mobs really easily. I think they fixed that, so I don't know if that example is going to work when Classic Realms come out, but that's just an example. Like, different mobs have different abilities that you can just use and abuse with mind control. So just be sure to experiment, as I know you already enjoy doing. Your playstyle as a priest while leveling should be centered around having to drink as little as possible between mobs. Because obviously nobody likes spending the time to drink, it just takes too much time. It's boring gameplay. But that's not even the worst thing about drinking. The worst thing about drinking for mana is that the main ingredient in every single drink in World of Warcraft is soy! Yes, that's right. The main ingredient in all Warcraft drinks is soy. Listen to this joke I just made. The most harmful substance to any man, even if you are wearing a dress. Soy will turn you into the most dreaded creature in Warcraft. That's right, the soy boy. Especially if you get the drink straight from the source of soy. Aye. The mage. Mages are the ultimate soy boys of Warcraft, which is how they are able to make these harmful drinks. So avoid drinking any liquid as much as possible. It's not worth it, because if you drink too much, you too will become a soy boy. But how are you supposed to avoid these terrible drinks? Well, by not running out of mana in the first place. Use the rotation I explained to you earlier in the video, and most importantly, get as much spirit as you possibly can. I personally take spirit over any other stat, because intellect only really becomes useful when you're almost out of mana. So if I never run out of mana because I have so much spirit, then intellect is not useful for me. When you kill something, your spirit-based mana regeneration will double, due to the spirit tap talent you are going to get. If you're in combat and you kill something, your mana regeneration will go up by 50%. With spirit gear and the spirit tap talent, you really shouldn't be having to drink at all. I don't think I've had to drink on this character since I was level 15. That's the end of the video, guys. Hit that sub button, smash that like button, pound that keyboard for a comment, attack the notification button, and just click on all the buttons. Also, if you guys want to give me a follow on Twitch, the link is in the description below. And if you would like to look like a much better looking version of yourself, you can buy my merch. If you want to support the channel so I can eventually start making these videos faster with higher quality, I'll leave a link to my Patreon in the description below.